Part 1. Read this story. Baby Caterpillar was tired. All summer long she had been traveling slowly through the green world where she lived, and feeding on a green leaf that grew near her home. Now autumn had come and Mother Nature had given a holiday to the leaf, who put on their new dresses of red and gold and played tag with the branches. Baby Caterpillar wanted to play too, but could not run so fast as the happy little leaves, and she grew very tired and thought she would take a nap. So she found a cozy place among the branches of a grapevine and made herself a soft, silky blanket. Then she rolled herself away within, and then, in her queer little cradle, went to sleep. One night, late in the fall, Jack Frost came over to the hill. He spread the cradle swinging to and fro and began to play roughly with it, for he is rugged little fellow and touches everything that comes in his way. But she warm blanket hid the little sleeper so that Jack could not find her. By and by King Winter came, bringing beautiful snow blankets to Mother Nature's flower babies. He gently rocked the cradle as he passed and whispered, "Sleepy baby, sleep. You have no need of my blankets." At last spring came with the sunbeams, the best and merriest of Mother Nature's helpers. They awoke the flowers from their long winter nap and called to the birds and the brooks to begin their song. When they come to the little brown cradle, they stopped to rest, and baby Caterpillar began to get very warm under the thick blanket. She woke up and stretched herself, and her cradle broke, and she came out to greet the spring. But what changed? Instead of the old dingy dress that she went to sleep in, she now had a beautiful yellow one, and instead of crawling among the leaves, she flew up and away into the sweet spring air to play with the sunbeams and flowers, and the little children called her a butterfly. Part 2. Read this poem correctly. Billet does not rhyme with ballad. Bucket, wallet, mallet, child. Blood and blood are not like food, nor is smooth like shield and wool. Viscous, ficken, lot, and broad. Toward, to forward, to reward. And your pronunciation's okay when you correctly say croquet. Rounded, wounded, grief, and sieve. Friend and fin, alive and live. Ivy, privy, famous, claimer. And animal rhyme with hammer. River, rifle, tomb, bump, camp. Dole and roll, and some and home. Stranger does not rhyme with anger, neither does devil with clanger. Sauce but foul, hound but own. Font, front, want, grain, and grained. Shoes gas, the dust. Now first say finger, and then singer, kinger, linger. Real, zeal, muff, gas, couch, and gauge. Marriage, foliage, marriage, and age. Query does not rhyme with fairy, nor does fury sound like berry. Toss, loss, post, and dot, clot, lot. Job, knob, bosom, trousum, out. To the difference seem little. We say actual but fictual. River does not rhyme with dever. Favor does and zephyr, haver. Mint, pine, senate, and sedate. Dull, bell, and George ate late. Scanic, Arabic, Pacific. Science, conscience, scientific. Liberty, library, heave, and heaven. Rachel, edge, mustache, elephant. We say hallowed but aloud. People, leopard, toad, but foul. Mark the difference, moreover, between mover, cover, clover. Leeches, breeches, wise, precise. Celeste, but police and lies. Camel, constable, and stable. Principal, disciple, label. petal, penile, and canal. Wait, surprise, plate, promise, pal. Worm and storm, chase, Charles, chair. Senator, spectator, mayor. Tour but hour, and sucker for. Gas, Alaska and Arkansas. Sea, idea, Korea area. Psalm, Maria but malaria. Youth, south, southern, cleanse and clean. Doctrine, Tapertine, marine. Compare alien with Italian. Dandelion and battalion. Sally with a lie, yay, yay. I, I, way and key. Say ever but ever, favor. Nether, leisure, skin, decipher. Heron, granary, canary. Survive and device and airy. Part 3. Read this twisted tongue naturally. Read it 3 times. The first is slow mode, the second normal mode, and the last is the fast mode. First, how much would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? He would chuck he would as much as he could and chuck as much wood as a woodchuck would if a woodchuck could chuck wood. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? He would chuck he would as much as he could and chuck as much wood as a woodchuck would if a woodchuck could chuck wood. How much wood a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? He would chuck he would as much he could and chuck as much wood as a woodchuck would if a woodchuck could chuck wood. 2. Can you can a can't can into uncan can like a canner can a can't can into an uncan can you can a can't can into uncan can like a canner can a can't can into uncan can you can a can into uncan can like a canner can a can't can into uncan can. 3. Silly Sally swiftly shoot 7 silly sheep. The 7 silly sheep, silly Sally shoot, silly Sally thought. This sheep shouldn't sleep in a shack, sheep should sleep in a shack. Silly Sally swiftly shoot 7 silly sheep, the 7 silly sheep, silly Sally shoot, silly Sally thought. This sheep shouldn't sleep in a shack, sheep should sleep in a shack. Silly Sally swiftly shoot 7 silly sheep, the 7 silly sheep, silly Sally shoot, silly Sally thought. This sheep shouldn't sleep in a shack, sheep should sleep in shot. 4. All I want in proper cup of coffee, made in proper copper coffee pot. I may bit off my dot, but I want a cup of coffee from a proper coffee pot. All I want is proper cup of coffee, made in proper copper coffee pot. I may be off my dot, but I want a cup of coffee from a proper coffee pot. All I want is proper cup of coffee, made in proper copper coffee pot. I may be off my dot, but I want a cup of coffee from a proper coffee pot. 5. Amidst the mist coldest frost, with shortest frizz and loudest boss, he thrust his fist against the post and still insists he sees the ghost. Amidst the mist and coldest frost, with shortest frizz and loudest boss, he thrusts his fist against the post and still insists he sees the ghost. Amidst the mist and coldest frost, with shortest frizz and loudest boss, he thrusts his fist against the post and still insists he sees the ghost.